Slipping in Space Station 14 is just a regular occurrence on the station. Whether you're getting slipped in combat, slipping just because the floor is dirty, slipping because someone threw a water bottle at you, slipping because somebody threw a banana peel at you, whatever the case may be, slipping is very common. And I'm making this video because I just randomly sat down and realized you could actually shift click puddles that tell you if they're slippery or not. Um, I'm just stuck back in the days where you didn't know, you just had to know whether or not you were going to slip on a liquid. And I was also thinking to myself, man, when I was a new player, not knowing how to like not slip really pissed me off. So I'm just making this video really quickly to explain how slipping works. If you ever see an unknown reagent on the ground while the water disappeared, you can always shift click it and it'll say it looks slippery, meaning that it will slip you if you're going over a certain speed. Little puddles of things like this can't slip you. There's just not enough liquid on them. So if you ever like running through a hall and you see a bunch of liquid, but there's these little thin patches, you can move straight through them full speed, which would be faster than obviously, well, slipping. If you have no movement speed modifiers and you're full health, you can always just hold shift, and that'll let you walk over every slippery surface in the game except Space Lube. And thankfully Space Lube has a very distinct color, and that's very easy to avoid. Space Lube actually is a commonly recognized solution, meaning you don't even need glasses for it, so there's no reason you should ever get tricked by Space Lube if you're just taking time to examine a puddle before you sprint through it. There is no movement speed you can reach to the point where you won't be slipping on Space Lube. If I put on a Juggernaut suit and toggle walk, where I'm basically, it's very slow, you will still slip. The only way to avoid not slipping in Space Lube is if you have no slip shoes of any kind or if you have mag boots turned on. Movement speed won't save you here. However, slow movement speed does allow you to move full speed through any normal slippery surface, including even things like bananas, soap, you name it. To hit that threshold, you need to lose 25% of your movement speed or greater. If I mix a duffel bag, which is 10%, with armor that's 10%, it's still too fast. But if I put on armor like an EVA suit that is minus 20% with a duffel bag, I can now run full speed over normal slippery surfaces. So you can kind of min-max your speed in order to never have to worry about using the walk key, other than Space Lube, which is something that will always slip you regardless of movement speed, unless you have no slips. The reason why I'm even explaining this is that if you hit 25% movement speed, you no longer have to worry about slipping, which means that you don't really need to worry about having no slip shoes. So that could save you a few telecrystals, or just change your strategy in general. I'm just doing this to give information. I mean, that's kind of what I just do anyway. Also, of course, if you just have a piece of armor like a fire suit, that's just automatically slows you by 30%. That is enough as well to not slip. All puddles and banana peels will stun you for 3 seconds. You can pull off handcuffs in that time period, but it isn't all that easy. And just to sum this video up, I'll cover the different types of soaps and how long those stun you for. So very quickly here are the 3 different stun duration soaps in the game. Normal bars of soap only stun you for 2 seconds. You can technically cuff someone, but you would basically have to have clicked them while they are in the active time of slipping before they actually even turn sideways to pull it off. I have seen it done, but it's pretty unlikely you'll pull that off. The Slippocalypse Cluster Soap and the normal Cindy Soap stun you for 5 seconds, which is more than enough time to get a good cuff off. Cindy bars of soap have been the death of many, many lone captains. And the Omega Soap, if you ever find it, is a crazy 7 seconds. And you slip somewhat far, but you hit the ground really quickly as well, so you don't really slip all that far anymore. You used to slip a lot further, but slipping for an entire 7 seconds, if you are near anyone who plans to have bad things in mind for you, they will definitely get you in cuffs. They could just kill you in that time period. Being stunned for 7 seconds is... I think this is the longest stun in the game, other than a bunch of like reagents. Like obviously getting Nocturne is a longer stun, but I don't think any stun gets longer than 7 full seconds in the game. Omega Soap is pretty uncommon though, but it is acquirable. Finally, we're getting to the other methods of no slips. There are a few types of no slip shoes in the games. There's Space Ninja shoes. There's the black shoes, which are actually just chameleon no slip shoes that syndicates can purchase, and nukies, and galoshes, which janitors always spawn with. All 3 of these are basically identical. Space Ninja shoes actually make you run faster, but they make you run faster and make it so you can't slip. So they're definitely just the best no slip shoes in the game, but only ninjas have them. The galoshes and no slip shoes are functionally identical, but obviously this one's chameleon. And galoshes are non-trader specific, but do save you from slips. And then mag boots do not save you from slips, but if you turn them on, they do save you from slips. And obviously, the advanced mag boots are the best. They don't slow you down at all when they're turned on. Normal mag boots slow you down by 20% while they're turned on. So you do lose 20% movement speed. If you have no movement speed modifiers and a pair of mag boots turned on, you can still move faster than you could if you're wearing the 25% otherwise to make it so you don't slip on normal surfaces. And then you have the added benefit that you can run right over Space Lube with them, which is a pretty big deal. Never having to consciously think about slipping in combat makes a huge difference. Many fights in this game end because one opponent slipped without realizing it. It's really common for something like a fuel tank to get broken in a hallway, and people just don't either consciously think to walk. I mean, there's a lot of pressure to do things in this game. Like, I die to slipping all the time. It's just the way of the game. But yeah, so always, just as a final note, shift-click puddles if you don't know what they are to see if it says it looks slippery. You don't have to worry about small puddles. You can always go straight through them. If you have mag boots, you never even have to think about it. If you're at 25% movement speed or slower, never even have to think about it unless it specifically says it's Space Lube and it's a big enough puddle. These little ones don't matter. And obviously, things like banana peel and soap slips you. But I think that is enough about slipping. Thank you for watching.